Hi all, welcome to my On the Line show presented by MySportsResults.com and sponsored by Marathon Sports and the Foster Running Camp. My interviews feature some of Connecticut's top cross country and track and field athletes, teams, and coaches. But in this episode, I want to welcome back Soheib Dissa of Newtown High School, who just placed fourth in the mile at the Penn Relays with a time of 4:13. Soheib also just ran a 8:51 in the 3200 meter at the Arcadia Invitational, which was good for 15th. And yeah, I just like to welcome you back to the show again. So I'm very, very excited
Yeah.
to have you on.
Yeah, thank you
So
for having me again.
no, of course, of course. And we do have a lot to get into this episode, so I do just want to jump right in. So just starting with your indoor season, how would you say you raced at New Balance Indoor Nationals?
I did two races in New Balance indoor. I ran the on Friday. I ran on the Friday of New Balance Indoor Nationals. The I ran the SMR, ran the 800-meter leg, and I anchored and I won my heat. I won my heat, and I ran around like 153, which is pretty nice. And then after that on Sunday, I ran the mile where I didn't really run my best race, but I learned a lot. I made some tactical mistakes, but I learned a lot and kind of moved on. And the race got a bit tactical throughout. There was a pacer, but the nature of the race like played out a little bit differently. And yeah,
No, I mean 153 is quick, and I mean still you raced really well in terms of time in the mile as well. I know there was a very, very tough heat in terms of the guys that were also running it, but I'm also just curious, what went into your decision to run the mile instead of some of the other individual events at this meet?
yeah. So so my team qualified through SMR, and although I was planning to go run the 2 mile in nationals, I wanted to give my like a good chance for my team to do well. And I also saw that there was a nice like gap in between the SMR in the mile, so I thought that was the best choice coming into nationals, like giving myself a good break before the mile.
No, I think that's awesome how you want to set your team up for success as well. I mean, the SMR is also just such a unique event. Were you racing that throughout the indoor season as well with some of the guys on that team too?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we went to states and yeah, race.
Nice. Nice. That's awesome. And also I saw that you didn't run in any individual events at the New England championship meet for indoor as well. What kind of went into the your decision to do that? Were you banged up at all or
My coach and I like decided that it'd be best to not attend New England's just to prepare for nationals. We wanted like a good training like block prior to nationals, so that's why we took that approach.
no, that definitely makes sense and everything. So, I mean, you guys, I mean, definitely a tough, just or a big, there's just a lot on the plate in terms of the nationals meet. So that definitely makes sense in terms of why you'd want to like block out that time. I definitely respect that. And I also wanted to touch upon your 1,000 meter race at state opens as well, because I know that through the first four laps of that race, you were really, kind of staying with the pack and everything. And then at the end, you dropped it 25-second last year. I believe it was 25 seconds, which is like kind of unheard of. So I know that the last interview I talked or we talked about your kick, but I'm just so like astounded by that. How did you manage to muster that blistering kick in that race?
Yeah, so that race was in Class L. It wasn't in opens.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
my bad, my bad.
Yeah, but so initially I was coming into that race. I really wanted to preserve myself for the SMR because we were in the slowest heat, and I had no one to pace off from. I knew that I was not gonna be able to pace off from someone in that race, so I wanted to preserve myself in the 1K. So I did the 1K, and throughout the race it was really slow. I mean, it was like slower than usual, your usual 1K, and coming into like the bell lap, I had a lot of energy and I just like took it, and I ended up running 25.
No, because I just remember seeing that on I think it was My Sports Results or Mile Split, one of those, and I was like, dang, that is an insane kick. That's some sprinter speed right there. So I was really impressed by that. But
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, no, it was incredible. And just in terms of the particular events that you wanted to run during the indoor championship season, kind of I know you touched upon this a little bit earlier, but what was your overall game plan for the entire championship season?
Um, I mean, the goal definitely was to run the mile in nationals. That's what I wanted to do. Coming from a good race in the Millrose Games. I also wanted to defend my title in the on the 1K. I'm the two-time. I won the Open twice like prior, and I wanted to get a third championship to defend my title. And I also wanted to do like a team effort. Never really won anything in a relay with a team in the state level, so that's what I wanted to do as well.
No, that's definitely fair. And just kind of as a whole, how would you characterize your indoor season? What was your biggest triumph? What were some of the biggest challenges as well? And would you say that you met the goals that you set for yourself during the season?
Yeah, so there was definitely a lot of ups and downs. There was probably more ups. I got to experience like those high end meets, like the Millrose Games and the New Balance Grand Prix. I got a lot of experience from that. I was able to improve a lot of my mile time. I'm very happy with 404 currently, and I hope to improve that and get that lower. And I also got to win something with the team in the Class L. We got the meet record, and we won. We won the SMR. Um, I mean, I didn't really end in my indoor season as I wanted to, but that's all right. We learn and we move on.
No, I think that's a great mentality, especially moving forward. And I'm confident that you'll be able to, kind of pick up the slack during the outdoor season and really finish strong. But I'm also just curious, after an excellent out or like cross country season that you had in the fall, how were you able to maintain the momentum going into indoor?
Yeah. So, coming from cross country, I had a really big aerobic base, and all I basically needed to do was do like a lot of speed, add more speed. I mean, I still had a good amount of speed in cross country, but compared to track, track is much requires more. And when I incorporated more like speed track sessions, I was able to progress much quicker.
No, nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, just two back-to-back really impressive seasons. So huge props to you and everything. And then we're going to transition to the next section, which will be on the NIL sponsorship. So we'll be right back to our interview with Soheib Dissa after we take a quick break for this message from our sponsor, Marathon Sports. Welcome back to our chat with Soheib Dissa. This section will focus on Soheib's recent NIL deal with Marathon Sports. So, just first and foremost, what drew you to sign an NIL deal with Marathon Sports?
Well, I've always seen like marathon sports as like a always supporting the local running community. Um, as you know, like they sponsor MySportsResults, which is great,
Mhm.
and I saw it as a great also saw it as a great opportunity to uh further pursue my NIL experiences, and yeah, so they're just like not just really they're not only a retail store, but they're also like a brand that supports athletes as well, and I really respect that, and I really um, buy that.
You mentioned how Marathon Sports has a brand for itself. It's much more than just like a retail store. And I'm just curious, like, how does that reflect the personal brand that you're trying to build as a runner? Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to be known as a runner who like trains hard and gives back and always stays grounded. And marathon sports also shares that mission. Um, they're, as you can see, they're community driven. They support both the everyday athlete as well as elite athletes such as like myself. And that's the kind of mentality that I want to be around and be with.
No, I think that's completely fair. And also, just when did you sign this NIL deal? And I think you really already touched upon this, but what prompted you to sign one before or well before your college career started?
I signed pretty recent. I signed basically last month, and I wanted to enter the next chapter with some momentum and the sense of like identity already that's formed, and I felt like I was ready to take on the responsibility of being having a partnership, and I felt like that was the right time uh, to establish some future opportunities as well.
No, I think that's completely fair. And I'm also just curious, is there a marathon sports in Newtown or around the area where you're from?
There's not a Newtown, there's not marathon sports in Newtown, but there's one in New Fairfield, which is not so far from Newtown.
Okay, nice, nice. And I know that you may not have gone to marathon sports when you first started running, but how do retailers like marathon sports, or how did they really impact the start of your running career, given that they likely gave you your first running shoe or retail similar to
Yeah.
marathon sports?
So when I started like taking on running around freshman year, like I had no idea what to wear, what to buy, what shoe was right for me and such. So like me going when I went to like a retail store for the first time before the indoor season, um, they helped me like learn about the set like foot sizing and what types of shoes are for like for workouts or long runs, and help me better understand um, basically running in general.
No, I think that's really cool. How would you say that it helped you understand running on a deeper level, like in terms of form and stuff like that?
They helped me understand like mechanics as well.
Mm.
Um, when I remember like after I bought a shoe, I came back and I wanted to go buy another one, and they saw my shoe, like the bottom of my shoe, and they saw how where I hit the ground the most,
Mm.
and they recommended shoes that would help me fix like an issue with my landing and such.
No, I just remember going to some retailers and like you'd run on the treadmill and they'd be able to see where exactly your foot was falling and then give you the proper inserts or the shoe or whatever. So I always found that like really cool in terms of like the sports science aspect of running. So
Exactly. Yeah, that's very helpful with new coming runners as well as higher level runners as well.
no, exactly. I mean, I feel like the sport is advancing at such an incredible rate, just scientifically. And I guess it just goes to show how retailers have advanced kind of along with it. But anyways, we'll be right back with our interview with Soheib Dissa after we take a quick break for this message from our sponsor, the Foster Running Camp.
On the Line with Grant Walters is sponsored by Foss Running Camp, an overnight cross-country camp for middle and high school athletes of all abilities, located in nearby Torrington, Connecticut, August 14th through 19th. Go to fossrunningcamp.com for more information. Foss Running Camp, where champions are built one step at a time.
Welcome back to our chat with Soheib Dissa. This section will focus on Soheib's outdoor season specifically. So I do just want to jump right into it. Just last Friday, you raced at the Penn Relays where you placed fourth in the mile with a time of 4:13. How do you feel about your performance at this event?
Honestly, it wasn't really what I was going for. I mean, like similarly to what happened in New Balance Indoor Nationals, the race played out much more tactically than I expected to be. I thought it was gonna be a fast paced race, but it turned out to be much more, much more tactical. And I ended up closing in like the thing I like took away from that. I ended up closing around like 57 the last lap.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but like I was busy like fighting through the crowd and stuff in like the last 300. But um I've learned like more tactics and more like learn from my mistakes, and I hope to like put that in like in like future races.
So would you say it was you wanted to get out hotter at the start of that race so you could position yourself better to be in a place to have that 57 kick where you could be in first place? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, like I knew I could have went out a lot faster. It's just like I guess my subconscious told me to stay back, but next time like I know I can like go out and hold that pace.
No, 100%. I think that that's a great learning experience, and I think that's definitely a stepping stone to move forward. And just curious, how does it feel to compete against the top runners in the nation like yourself? And who are you most excited to race again later in the season?
Um it honestly feels really cool. Like I remember myself last year. I was hurt and like I was hurt from an Achilles injury, and I didn't expect myself to do much the following year. But now here I am, like competing with the nation's best, and it honestly feels like a gift to be with those people who are like breaking records and stuff. It's awesome, and I'm hoping to race those same runners again, like the people from the Grand Prix or people from nationals. Like I hope to see them again and race them once more.
Yeah, no, and I know that you are set to race another meet this Friday. So how are you going into that race as well?
I'm pretty excited for that one. Like it's yes tomorrow at 7. Like I'll be seeing like some of the Foot Locker guys there, and also many others who have raced against before in the national level. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be a pacer. Yeah, and I'm ready to take it out.
Oh, nice, nice. And you also just raced at Arcadia Invitational in my own home, Southern California. So, what was this experience like as well, kind of in conjunction with the Penn relays that you just raced?
Yeah. So yeah, Arcadia was basically like one of the biggest meets I've been to. It was basically like another nationals. It was mass. I have to say it was like massive. When I was racing with the 32s, it was pretty exciting. We went out a bit slower than expected because the previous years like go out 4:20.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah, but this year like we went out like around 4:30, and we ended up closing around like 10 to 15 seconds faster than that.
Dang. Yeah, that's insane. I always love looking out for the Arcadia meet just because it is such an exciting race with all of like the premier high school talent. So that's
Yeah.
really cool. You got a chance to meet or a chance to race there. And kind of what did you learn from the Arcadia race specifically? Is there any tactics that you would have liked to have done differently, kind of in retrospect after the race?
Yeah, so well, the field was really big. There was like over like almost 40 runners,
Hmm.
which is like you don't really encounter that in any race. So, I did pretty well positioning the first half of the race. I was probably say like probably not don't spend too much time fighting for your like fighting for like to be up there, and so like be more patient, and like always stay in that the inner circle, like lane one. It's much you're doing less work than running in like lane two or lane three.
Yeah, no, and I mean, again, I think that's definitely a race where you raced extremely well at, and I mean, it's going to be exciting to see how much better you can do after both of these events that you gained a lot of experience at. So, also, just in terms of the Arcadia meet specifically, how are you able to so quickly prepare for this, especially after such a strenuous indoor season?
Yeah. So well, um, I mean, I didn't really lose any fitness from indoor. Indoor, like I built a lot of fitness, and so I didn't really take such a big break after indoor. I only took like 3 4 days after, and I went right back to it. And so like I didn't really lose any fitness, and I just went to Arcadia with the fitness I had, and yeah, that's basically what it was.
No, and also just in general, how are you feeling at the start of your outdoor season? I know that it just started and everything, but what are also just, like how is your body feeling and everything? Is it feeling healthy and all?
Yeah, I'm staying on top of my like recovery and non-running essentials. Those things are very crucial if you want to like continue staying healthy and like training every single day. Like you always gotta after practice, you always got to be um, like aware of all those important details. And my body feels really good, pretty good. And I hope that like when I continue to do all the non-running essentials, like I'll stay that way.
No, it's all about the small things, right? It's literally a game of just honing in on those really, really small aspects of running. But just curious, what is your key to recovery, and what are some of your go-to techniques to get your body rejuvenated after a hard workout or a hard meet?
I always do foam rolling right after foam rolling and stretching at home. Um, I make sure not to sleep too late. Like I always try to prioritize sleep. Like 8 to 9 hours is always key, and always try to like make sure to avoid all the make sure to avoid foods that are not so good for you. Like don't be eating like junk food every day, and yeah, always be like conscious of what you're doing throughout the day. Like, is this good for me? Is this not good for me? And you just gotta like put your priorities first.
No, I definitely respect that a lot. I think being so locked in on just every single part of your routine is the just one way that you can get to that next level. I feel like that's true with any athlete. I really do respect that. And just kind of with your training, how are you also preparing for running at Duke next year in your training right now?
Yeah. So my coach told me not to. My college coach not told me to not worry about like college training just yet. He said like finish your track season, and then we'll start like discussing about the summer training plan and forward.
I think that's smart just to kind of like prioritize that outdoor aspect, and then, up the aerobic base that much more because, going to be running the 8K and 10K as well. So I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I think that's definitely a good way to approach it. And I just got to ask, where do you stand on the steeplechase going into your final season of outdoor? I know you've really made a big name for yourself at this event.
Yeah, so I'm like trying to find like an opportunity for the steeplechase like this month, but hopefully if I find one, then that'll be great. Great for me to do something in the steeplechase. But if not, I'll probably just hold it on for nationals maybe. I'm probably gonna go maybe for the. I'm like still deciding what to do for nationals, but hopefully I could do the steeplechase there. And yeah, continue doing that because I've been doing it for like for all my years in high school.
And do you expect to continue that in college as well during track?
I'm really not sure, but that's something to discuss with my college coach, and hope maybe I'll be doing the steeplechase in college.
No, that's definitely fair. That is a little bit far down the line, so I can definitely understand why you guys haven't had that conversation yet. But just on a general note as well, and this is my final question that I have for you. What legacy do you want to leave behind in Connecticut, just based off of your high school running career?
Yeah, well, I want to be I want to um try to run the best to my ability and try to be able to inspire the upcoming generations. I want to be like someone like Gavin Cherry who inspired me to run to like try to get to that level as well. And I'm hoping that when people look at my name, they don't just see like, oh, this was just a runner. They see, oh, this person did this and this, and like I hope one day I can be like that, and I'll try to work for that. Like I want to be that person.
I think that's great. And I mean, at least for me personally, I think you've already carved a name for yourself as one of the all-time greats in Connecticut distance running history. And I mean that so sincerely. Like,
Thank you.
you've had an amazing high school career and you have a lot to be proud of. So it's only going to continue at Duke. So,
Thank you.
but yeah, well, again, I would like to thank Soheib Dissa for his time and willingness to be part of this interview. Again, it was really enlightening to hear everything that you had to say, and I wish you the best of luck with your outdoor season and your college career at Duke as well.
Yeah, thank you, Grant. Thank you for having me here again. It was a pleasure talking with you.
No, of course, always is a pleasure. So I really do appreciate you taking the time and everything. And again, thanks to all our fans for joining us. Stay tuned for my next interview. But for now, this is Grant Walters signing off for On the Line. Have a good one, y'all.